I feel like this might be like my opening like statement. You are you're either the person, you're the either the thing that's gonna propel you forward, or this might sound kind of mean. You're either gonna be the person that propels you forward, or you're gonna be the person that holds you back. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Y'all, one goal I had in 2025 was to be consistent. And I feel like I've kind of been consistent. I've had a couple hiccups here. We're halfway through January.
Okay, so I know that video just said we're halfway through January, and actually it's February 4th. I was supposed to release this video January 15th, but I never did. So as you're watching this, pretend like it's January 15th. I almost wasn't gonna release this because I didn't like it, but I'm gonna go ahead and release it anyway. Y'all enjoy.
My goals are looking okay. And of course, I said I wanted to do 4 YouTube videos in January. I've only done one. That's okay. There's still time. And so I got physical goals, I got spiritual goals, my Bible reading plan, and they're going okay. I just had a couple just hiccups, and I want to be consistent. And I believe that if I'm consistent with the little, eventually I'll be consistent with some bigger things. But I can't allow just different things to come and just kind of throw me off, because we all know we don't live in a perfect world. We all haven't been dealt the best hand. And so the thing isn't what kind of hand you've been dealt. The question is, what are you going to do with the hand that you've been dealt? And so I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to like, hey, I understand the circumstances. My life has been a little crazy the first part of January, but everybody's life is busy. Like, we all busy, but I can't make any excuses. You can either make excuses or you can take action, and I am choosing to take action. That's a word for y'all. Take action, y'all. But I wanted to do this video. I ain't gonna lie, I struggled just even trying to type up a script. In my last video, you'll remember me talking about, hey, I need a script, because if not, I'll get on here and ramble. I was typing up a script, and y'all, I was struggling. And it wasn't necessarily like this creative block. It's almost like I didn't want to talk about it because it's not something I feel like I've like overcome, or like I know all about. I feel like I'm still in the middle of it, so it's kind of hard to talk about. And so it's something I feel like I've dealt with probably like the last, at least in my early teens and up until this year. But it's kind of a, I don't want to say dark topic, but it's self-doubt. Y'all, I doubt myself a lot, and maybe all y'all are great. All y'all are perfect. Y'all are just the most confident people in the world. You never doubt yourself. But sometimes I struggle with self-doubt. And a lot of it, I feel like I have no reason to doubt, but I just allow just different things to kind of creep in. And I want to talk about that. Really, I feel like if we were to kind of package this into one term, the term would be imposter syndrome. I feel like I struggle. I'm overcoming. Let's change the language. I'm overcoming imposter syndrome. So people who struggle with imposter syndrome, they generally they doubt their abilities, they doubt their skills, or they doubt their accomplishments. They feel like how it was just lucky that it happened. They feel like they're one moment away from being discovered as a fraud. But if you look at the evidence of the success, that's not the case. They're constantly living on edge because they don't want to be discovered as a person who doesn't know what they're doing. They feel like, hey, eventually people are going to realize, hey, I shouldn't be in this room. I shouldn't have this job. I shouldn't have this position. I am an imposter. So there's areas of my life where I felt or even feel like I'm an imposter. Like, people are going to realize I don't know what I'm doing. Like simple stuff like being a creative. Like, there's a lot of times I don't feel like a creative. I feel like eventually people are gonna realize, hey, Ren doesn't know what he's doing. It was kind of lucky. He watched a couple YouTube videos. But if you look at just my work, you look at the things I've done, none of that lines up with like the thoughts that are coming. It's all up here. And I'm trying, like I've learned, and I'm not gonna say I get it right every time, how to just battle and fight. But sometimes it can get a little overwhelming, y'all. And so it can lead to just simple stuff like perfectionism. I try to make things perfect. And it's not necessarily like I can make them perfect because I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to make things perfect because I'm trying to prove myself. And then generally what happens, this is what happens. I try to make something perfect and I end up getting paralyzed because I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. And so the easiest thing is to just not do anything at all. Now, when I say I don't know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing, but that's almost like I'm not going, well, let me be humble. I don't know everything, but I know some things. And so it's easy to just get in my head and be like, man, you really don't know what you're doing. Why are you doing this? Just stop. And I just freeze. And it's been so many times, like I feel like I've messed up opportunities because I started something and then I was like, oh snap, I really don't know what I'm doing. But we have to remind ourselves, it is a journey and no one knows everything. One of the biggest contributors to imposter syndrome for me is comparison. It's been said that comparison is like the thief of joy. And in the things that I do, I find myself when I get into the comparison game in comparison mode, I start to struggle. And then I start to feel like I'm an imposter because I look at what other people do. And the one thing about, I just feel like even like how we were created, we might all do similar things or even the same thing, but how we were created was we have special, unique gifts. And so no, you don't want to be just like someone else. And so God made you a specific way. And so I have to remind myself like, hey, you don't have to be like X, Y, and Z. Your videos don't have to be like X, Y, and Z. So I just, honest, transparent moment, I just made this post on Facebook and Instagram offering like a photography sessions, like some mini sessions. And y'all, that was the hardest thing to do. Cause one, this ain't imposter syndrome. What I'm saying right now, I don't feel like I'm the best photographer. I feel like I like video. I feel like I'm a better videographer than photographer. I'm growing as a photographer. And because I feel like this might be imposter. Maybe it is imposter syndrome. I don't know. I feel like because I'm not the best photographer, I don't want to put myself out there until I know everything. But I'm never gonna know everything. And so I was like, all right, we're gonna make this post and I'm gonna offer these mini sessions. And I was supposed to do it January 1st, y'all. I didn't make the post till January 16th because I was going through all these made up scenarios in my head, y'all. Because I felt like, like the real photographers, they're doing this. Oh, look what she did. Look what he did. You know what? Let me just chill and stay back. But I am so thankful for my wife, Jessica. Y'all, she is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Just small, little pushes. Like, hey, you made that post yet? I'm like, nah, I ain't made it yet, but I'm gonna make it. This is like January 3rd. And then, January 6th. Hey, you made that post yet? I'm like, yeah, I'm working on it. I got all my pictures. I got everything lined up, how I'm gonna do it. Then like last week, she's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you not making a post? And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't even explain like why. And it was ultimately because I felt like an imposter. I'm like, I don't necessarily belong in this group of people. I feel like I'm not a photographer. I feel like I'm this. And I know all those things are lies, but those are legit thoughts. And I'm getting better at battling those thoughts. And maybe you're like me, maybe it's not photography, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your cooking, maybe like you draw, whatever it is. You have moments of feeling like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be in this field. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this line of work. Those are just thoughts from the enemy. And I just even want to encourage you to just remind yourself on what is true. Yeah, you might not know everything, but one thing, as we were created, I feel like we were created to learn. And you can learn things. Like, I tell everybody, like, I wish I would have went to school for this stuff, but I didn't. I got a YouTube education. And one thing I feel like, especially going back to being a creative, anything, you can learn anything. And so anything you want to set your mind to do, you can learn how to do it. At the end of the day, I feel like this might be like my opening like statement. You're either the person, either the thing that's going to propel you forward, or this might sound kind of mean. You're either going to be the person that propels you forward, or you're gonna be the person that holds you back. You can either be, I don't know, this might sound dumb. You can be the helicopter that flies you over the mountain, or you can be the mountain. You can get in your own way. And I feel like a lot of times we end up getting our own way, and we can't do that in 2025. In 2025, we got to start just thinking, changing how we think about ourselves, how we think about the things that we do. And I'm not talking about like this, like, I don't know, I don't know how, I'm trying not to be offensive. I ain't talking about like this made up like self-talk. Like, no, like you got to start like declaring something. You got to have like, I don't even know how to say, like daily affirmations. You can have your daily affirmations. Like, hey, if there's scriptures that you want to stand on those scriptures, whatever it is. But you got to start changing how you think. We got to stop comparing our. I feel like even in the midst of me doing this, I'm almost comparing how I'm doing this video based off of other videos that I've seen, not even on Imposter Syndrome, but just videos of people that I look up to, people that inspire me. I think it's okay to have people have things that inspire you, but I don't think necessarily we're meant to like duplicate it. We're meant to just do our own thing. Like, don't try. I'm rambling. And this is what I said I didn't want to do in the other video. And so I'm about to cut it right here. All right, so I want to wrap up this video, but I want to encourage you. You are not a fraud. You're not an imposter. The gifts, the skills, the abilities that you have, you've been given them for a reason. You might not know everything, but you can learn. I feel like as humans, one thing about us is we're never meant to stop learning. And so you belong in the rooms that you're in, the job that you have, the conversations that you're a part of. You are not an imposter. You don't have to compare yourself to whoever, fill in the blank. You can look to people for inspiration, but you were never meant to be them. You don't have to self-sabotage. You don't have to just overload yourself with stress and anxiety. Be you. So if this video, I pray that it encouraged you. If you found any value in this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, share it with a friend, and y'all have a blessed day.